We've all been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Over 11 million people have been infected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and there have been over 250,000 confirmed deaths. Whether it be losing your senior prom, missing your freshman year of college, or losing a loved one, we have all been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. In this speech, I will be going over some measures we can take to best stay away from this pandemic and eradicate it. It's important that we go over this because there has actually been an emergence of cases in the past weeks that have been due to people becoming more and more comfortable and disregarding this state of emergency that we're in right now. The first point I would like to make is wearing masks. Many people in this country refuse to wear masks despite the rising numbers of COVID-19. According to the Center of Disease Control, masks are primarily used to contain the bacteria within a person. For instance, if I were to sneeze, the bacteria from my sneeze would not escape from my nasal passages, which could eventually infect others. This is mostly for people who are asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic, which means they have it, but they are not showing any symptoms. So they go around as if everything is okay, and that could potentially pass it on to someone who is weaker and could die from it. The next thing we should do is do our best to practice social distancing. In this pandemic, it's important that we stay at least 6 feet away from each other, which is the best method to prevent the spread of bacteria. According to the University of Florida, they've proven that social distancing is an excellent method of preventing the spread of bacteria. I know it's impossible to avoid going out because we all need things such as food and whatever store you may need to go to get whatever you need. But the University of Chicago has also figured out that it is an integral part of closing the pattern of COVID-19 infections. They also performed a study on other countries like China and Italy and how they have managed to get their cases lower even though they started off with higher cases. And this has been due to social distancing. The third point I'd like to make is to avoid large gatherings. Many people have become comfortable with the openness of society and have begun going to parties, going to clubs, attending church, and it is very important that we avoid doing these things. The University of Louisiana has found that avoiding large gatherings is also one of the best methods of preventing the spread of bacteria. As citizens, we should avoid large family gatherings, concerts, parties, and large religious gatherings as best as we can to prevent the spread of bacteria to people who have weaker immune systems and cannot fight off the bacteria. In conclusion, we should do everything that we can in order to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Younger people who have higher immune systems can easily fight off the sickness and recover in as short as 2 weeks, whereas older people cannot. This is why we must do everything in our power to avoid contracting the illness. That way we do not pass it to anyone who is older and may pass away from it. As citizens, we should ensure that we are wearing masks in public, practicing social distancing, and avoiding any form of large gathering. It is our responsibility as American citizens to practice all of these preventatory methods if we ever wish to return to the way things were before COVID plagued America. Thank you for listening to my speech.